Good evening, everybody. Man, oh man, what a fight. I hope you guys enjoyed that one between Kelvin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya. Those boys left it everything in the cage. Adesanya's face looks like he got stung by bees, and Kelvin's in the hospital, so that's usually a good indicator that it was they had a good scrap. Anyways, we're here to talk about this fight. I'll try to do a more detailed round by round breakdown today. Just because there was so much on show. There was lots of adjustments, lots of tricks, especially on the part of Israel Adesanya. And yeah, I'll do my best to analyze and break it down for you guys. Let's begin. Round 1. Kelvin Gastelum opens up in a southpaw stance. Being very aggressive, takes the center of the octagon almost immediately. He looked to fire long lefts to the body, which is as a shorter man that becomes a long weapon. So this coupled together with some left straights upstairs, feinting the right hand jab, and that was basically Kelvin's game for round 1. He did catch Adesanya as he tried to circle off the fence. Obviously done his homework because Adesanya likes to retreat on 45 degrees. Basically what that means is he will try to, with the front leg, he will try to step back at a 45 degrees, land into the opposite stance. And once he is in that opposite stance, he's a lot more square as he did step back on that 45 degrees. Now when he's a lot more square, he would pivot, makes it easier for him to pivot out to different directions laterally. And Kelvin basically predicted and grazed Adesanya as he was moving back on a 45 degrees to one direction and then pivoting to exit to the other direction. Adesanya basically showed us some signature style bender moves, and that included the shoulder feint, which is basically carrying his lead hand low. In this case, he was standing in the orthodox stance, so his left hand will be low, pumping the fake jab, but stepping in and moving his shoulder in the motion of a real jab. The body kicks to the open side of Kelvin Gastelum was present, set up by his low kicks, making Kelvin wonder if it's going to be a low kick or a body kick. And he also showed that feint to kick and come down into the new stance and landing a check hook with his lead hand. He uses this a lot against southpaws. Basically, he used this against Anderson Silva, used it against Derek Bronson, and even Marvin Vettori. And yeah, that was it for round 1. Round 2. This is where it gets interesting. Kelvin continues to use long lefts to the body, sticking to his jab and feints, basically playing with the timing of Adesanya, as he knows his pressure is backing up Adesanya, but Adesanya is looking to counter. So that by feinting and jabbing, by not committing to real strikes and then committing to real strikes, he plays around with the timing of Adesanya. And when Kelvin did try to commit, he was throwing looping left hands, which basically would come over the stiff arm defense of Israel Adesanya, as Adesanya likes to retreat either on a straight line or on 45 degrees angles, but with a hand posting on the head or the opposite shoulder of the opponent. And yeah, that looping left hand comes over that shoulder and basically making that defense ineffective. On defense, Kelvin would always slip to the outside of Adesanya's right hand. Now, Adesanya's setups and tricks in round 2 are very, very nice, very slick. He lands a few body kicks, but the way he sets it up is that he'll either throw a naked with no setup, or he'll feint the naked body kick, start a step, and then unleash a real body kick. So that's basically it's a delay in timing, and that'll bring down the guard of Kelvin Gastelum, make him hesitate, and then expose his midsection, and the kick will go through. He also landed a few variations of the straight right as a counter. So the first one, he'll bring back his lead foot as to retreat on 45. Basically, same motion as when he's retreating on 45 degrees, and then planting the same foot that he brings back, which is now the rear foot, stepping off the floor and firing off a rear straight from the new stance. It's a bit hard to picture, but that's the downfall of audio as opposed to video. So I'll probably release Israel Adesanya video number 2. Keep an eye out for that. I'll put some of the stuff in there. There's a fair amount of things that we want to show. Second one, fade back right hand counter to the open side. That's a Conor McGregor favorite, and that's a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson favorite. Basically stepping off to the open side and firing back with the rear hand, as there's no lead shoulder for the opponent to hide behind. This one is very, very meta and very, very effective. And the third one, it was basically a catch and pitch counter, basically taking Kelvin's rear hand on the guard and coming back with a fast rear hand of his own. And yeah, highlight of that round, basically the spinning back elbow to counter Kelvin's jab. That was a really, really good adjustment made by Adesanya. Round 3, Kelvin made the adjustments. While still keeping up with the theme of jabbing and feinting and throwing off Adesanya's timing, he added a lot more inside low kicks, trying to square up Adesanya and landing hooks as Adesanya squares up. Stylebender was kept relatively quiet this round, so basically the only significant strikes landed was low kicks, the inside low kicks, and one right hand when Kelvin was out of position. Whilst Kelvin added a bit more to the slips outside Adesanya's right hand, coupling up with uppercuts to the left straight combo, and actually slipping Adesanya's right hand, going for a double leg takedown. Now we're on to round 4. Round 4, it was quite back and forth until Kelvin landed that high kick. Before that high kick landed, Kelvin was trying to attempt a lot of double rear straights as Adesanya leans back. He also attempted a good left hand into double underhooks body lock, which is a favorite of Floyd Mayweather. Adesanya, on the other hand, landed a nice clinch off the right hand with the knee up the middle. He also attempted to stutter his right straight, basically faking the first right straight, stutter step, and offbeat into the second right straight. Similar to that offbeat kick, it serves to draw out the first reaction of Gastelum. In this case, he was looking for the slip and land his rear hand, his real rear straight, into where Kelvin's head has moved. And yes, a critical moment of the fight is where Kelvin head kicked Adesanya, really hiding that high kick behind his left hand. And it was the first high kick Kelvin attempted to throw. And I guess Kelvin was quite tired at that point because that kick wobbled Adesanya, but he actually chased him to the fence and attempted a takedown instead. Yeah, very, very critical moment of the fight, because if Kelvin had anything else left in that tank, Adesanya would not be the champion. That's in my humble opinion. He was badly hurt after that. Fifth and final round, both men came out of their corner, determined to be the champion. But Adesanya took this one. He was just a class above Kelvin in this regard. I mean, both fighters had the heart of a champion, but Adesanya showed a lot more in his game. And even in the fifth round, he pulled out tricks that we haven't seen in the previous rounds, such as the feint to kick and coming down into the new stance and then followed by straights instead of the check hook. He also landed more fake right straight, stutter step right straight. He also landed a variation of that, which is a feint right straight, stutter step right hook. That was to come around the guard of Kelvin Gastelum. And even in this high stakes, high importance fifth round, Stylebender attempts a standing guillotine. It's actually a standing Marcellitine with the high elbow. Loses that and then scrambles on the ground, transitions to actually a triangle, which is crazy. He almost had that triangle. Kelvin was a bit slippery, but yeah, crazy stuff. Especially because submissions are not his forte. It's not what he's known for. Anyhow, the beginning of the end came from a right straight down the middle as Kelvin Gastelum was throwing an inside leg kick, basically catching him on one leg as he was throwing the kick. And a few flurries and combinations later, Adesanya almost finishes the fight before the buzzer. What a crazy fight. I mean, that was spectacular. That was a fight of the year candidate. And that fight actually made me forget there was another fight on the card, which is Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier. We won't get into that one on this little post-fight breakdown. Anyways, thank you for listening, guys. If you liked this little breakdown, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Or follow me on Instagram at MMA Degree. I'll be posting out some videos, hopefully. I swear, hopefully this time, in the next coming few days. So yeah, enjoy your weekend, guys. I'll see you soon.